keep moving forward, opening new doors, and doing new things because we are curious. And curiosity keeps leading us. Walt Disney. Good morning, everybody. Synergize, transit to transcend. The wholesome effect attained through the change. The effort to accomplish beyond the limit. The theme of our very first PYP exhibition. We are about to witness the moments that make our theme meaningful. Grade 6, along with the homeroom teacher, hereby expresses heartfelt gratitude to the school leadership team, mentors, and the subject teachers whose support has led us to this moment. With due respect, let me invite our dear Principal Ma'am, Suryavati Ma'am, who always converses with the learners through a poem, a parable, or a real-life incident. Ma'am, we hereby request you to address the gathering and get the celebration of learning started for us, please.
Thank you, Asha, and good morning, dear students, parents, my fellow teachers, everybody who's there for this Red Letter Day in Harvest International School, the first PYP exhibition which is happening here. And what an event it has been, and it is. The kind of effort which has gone in, the kind of preparation which has gone in, the different types of ideas which have been generated in this entire process, the deliberations which went on, the collaboration which was at its peak, I should say, the healthy discussions and arguments wherein the students were trying to defend how the problem can be solved and gave so many insights to their mentors as well as teachers and everybody who were there. I think an event like this is very, very important in every child's life, not just only the PYP, but I feel when I have attended this, I have a reflection. One of my reflection is this is something which each and every student should be having this. Now, in a typical exhibition, they take up a particular topic, children go, they understand it, they try to explain their version of it, and as adults, as parents, as teachers, when we look at them, listen to them, question them, they have a few answers and there ends the matter. But here, that's not so. This is a seed which is sown for the proper researching skills, which are the need of the hour as every student grows. How a problem can be identified, how the design principles can be applied in the process of finding a solution for this problem which they see around them, how to seek help from the mentors, how to collaborate with the peers, how to escalate it after the deliberation to the responsible people in the society, and how to come back and present it to the society is a beautiful cycle which all these students have gone through, and they have presented it so very beautifully. They've made us think as adults. I thank all the mentors who have put in their heart and soul into this to make it perfect. When I say perfect, in its own sense of here, because when we look at that precision, that's also an added life skill which the kids are learning subconsciously from each one of us. I know the amount of time they have put in. I think even last night till 8:30 they were all sitting back and fine-tuning their PPTs, and here they are ready for the show. All the best, children, and thank you so much all the mentors who have put in your bit to make this a memorable event for all of us here at Harvest. And I would convey my special thanks to the parents who have cooperated in every way that this event becomes a big, successful maiden event at Harvest. Thank you. Over to you, Asha.
Thank you so much for the thoughtful words, ma'am. We would love you to wait with us and then give us a reflection. And
Asha ma'am, you're on mute.
thank you so much, ma'am, for those thoughtful and valuable words. We would love you to stay with us for the whole event and then give us a reflection. We would appreciate that. Thank you again. Grade 6 learners will be presenting the event as 3 segments. The time will be allotted for interactions after each presentation. To make this event a successful one, let us follow these essential agreements. Please stay on mute so that we will be respectful to the presenters. And please have your video on to encourage our presenters. I'll stop sharing. It's not helping me right now. Under the transdisciplinary theme, how we express ourselves, and the umbrella of sustainability of society, economy, and environment, they arrived at a central idea: passion and interest leads to learning and action. Our grade 6 learners have explored their areas of interest, awareness of the world around them, and the strategies for a sustainable living. The involved effort by the learners has led to the development of learner agency. Extensive research, brainstorming, attending expert sessions help them to develop the same. I'll try sharing my screen. There's some. It's not, my slides are not changing. That's why.
Kanchan ma'am, would you like to help?
Just a minute.
Yeah. Thank you. Asha ma'am, you may stop sharing.
Yeah. IB learner profiles. The aim of all IB programs is to develop internationally minded people who recognizing their common humanity and shared guardianship of the planet, help to create a better and more peaceful world. Yeah. We could move on, ma'am. Thank you. The process. Diamond ranking helps to converge the branched thoughts. The planning, learning engagements, experts' visits, reflecting, etc., formed our process. It is time to witness the learner agency now. We could go to the slide which has our learners on it, ma'am, our team Electrosma. Yeah, thank you. Dear audience, you will soon figure out why the name of the team, Bhavin. The open-mindedness possessed by him makes him a constructive member of the group. It makes him inquisitive and it displays him as a courageous and caring learner. Sanath is reflective, courageous, and principled. He chooses to streamline his thoughts and actions as he acquires learning. He is a learner who exhibits consistency in performance and the effort, like every other ones in my group. Team Electrosma has been under the mentorship of Miss Pavitra and Miss Jisha. Dear teachers, dear mentors, a few words from your experience of your journey, please. Thank you.
I'm sure technology has taken the lead of developing many things we use for ourselves in our day-to-day life. The research and innovations are going on. And I guess the young generation nowadays are no less than a scientist in the way they think and find solutions.
Well, we have two emerging innovators, Sanath and Bhavit, who have thought of new ways to use science and technology for a sustainable future. Introducing to you the Electrosma team. Let's hear it from them.
Let's get started, Bhavin and Sanath.
Bhavin, do you remember that the fourth state of matter exists?
Yes, Sanath, but there is a lot of research going on about what, why, and how to bring it to use for common people.
That's true. I'm sure, like the way we think, many of us may also be thinking about the emerging plasma technology. But I'm sure with the name Electrosma, you all must be wondering, what does it mean? Let us take you through our presentation to make you all understand this better.
I know who I am. I know what I believe. That's all I need to know. From there, you do what you need to do. That's a quote by Will Smith, which inspires me a lot. Will Smith is a renowned American movie actor. Good morning, everyone. I am Sanath Spend and also his classmate Bhavin, and I'm a learner of Grade 6 PYP Harvest International School. My aim for this unit is to discover a new source of energy or use an existing one to reduce the impact of gases and substances in the environment by using affordable, sustainable, and more eco-friendly sources of energy and implement that with robotics.
Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing or learning to do. Hello everyone, I am Sanath. For me, it all started in the 5th grade when I was researching about matter. I read a pop-up that said, learn about the 5 states of matter. When I read that, I was completely confused because I thought there were only 3 states of matter: solid, liquid, gas. So I opened the pop-up and saw that there was also plasma and Bose-Einstein condensate. I wasn't able to understand what Bose-Einstein condensate was, but I got a good idea of what plasma was. Now, I'm going to use my knowledge of plasma to solve the energy crisis.
What is our goal together as a team? Our goal is to enhance our knowledge of technology and energy to make way for a bright, sustainable future. Together, we have one interest in common, which is finding a new way to harness never-ending sources of energy and to convert that into electricity, to give clean energy and to stop the harm of gases and substances on the environment in an eco-friendly and an affordable manner too, so that any country or anyone can have access to this energy or power. Our main idea was to create a machine that uses circuits that are powered by plasma.
Our SDG focus is SDG 7, Clean and Affordable Energy. As we shared our goal together, this was our SDG target to make a sustainable future of having clean and green energy. Our unit structure is our transdisciplinary theme as how we express ourselves, our central idea as passion and interest leads to learning and action, our line of inquiry 1 as my area of interest, our line of inquiry 2 as awareness of the world around us, our line of inquiry 3 as strategies for sustainable living. I always loved to study physics and chemistry, so I chose the states of matter. At the time, all I knew was that there were only 5 states of matter: solid, liquid, gas, plasma, and Bose-Einstein condensate. I chose plasma in that as it was the most mysterious and most powerful state of matter. I also knew that there was and still is a huge energy crisis problem, and many places don't have sustainable, renewable, and affordable energy.
Before COVID, there was an innovation day once a year in school in which, if you want, you can showcase any one innovation of yours. My father encouraged me to go for it, and the ideas we got together were really great. But at that time, I didn't know robotics, so I just explained what the model or the prototype would do. About 2.5 years later, I started robotics classes, and my father kept on giving me ideas on how to integrate robotics with helping the environment. So when I got to know about this unit, I chose to focus on this goal. What is an inquiry without any questions? Here are some questions we got based on plasma, based on the key concept form. Why? Why plasma? Who? Who discovered plasma? Where? Where is plasma? What? What is plasma? How? How is plasma discovered?
My knowledge about plasma. Before I started research on this unit, I knew only how to make plasma but not harness it. I knew a little about plasma kinetic energy, and I had just learned that there are 5 states of matter. I had also just found out that plasma can be made from any state, but plasma cannot be reverted to another state. Now, after research in this unit, I know what is the form of ionization in plasma. I know now that there are 2 states of plasma, pure and impure plasma. Impure plasma is man-made plasma, while pure plasma is the plasma found in space, like in the stars. I also know that there are other types of plasma, such as hot plasma, warm plasma, cold plasma, quark-gluon plasma, etc.
My knowledge on electricity, robotics, and energy, then and now. Before the research in this unit, I knew a bit of Python and C++ in software, and in hardware, I learned a bit about Arduino circuits. Some of the Arduino projects that I've made so far are a smoke detector, a lamp that runs with code, an Arduino card, and an ultrasonic sensor that senses how close the nearest object is to it using ultrasonic waves. Now, my learning after the unit. Since now I've learned a lot of new things from my peer Sana, whose focus was plasma. So I learned a lot about plasma. But apart from that, I also learned about many new things in robotics and electricity throughout the unit, like what a transistor is, how a turbine works, what a Tesla coil is, and how that works. The beginning of our studies.
Here are some questions that pondered our thoughts. What is the thing that stops plasma from spewing out in a plasma ball? And what are the properties of plasma?
The properties of plasma and electricity.
Plasma has no fixed shape or volume. They have a high density of 1 trillion electrons per cubic centimeter. Plasmas give sufficient energy to free electrons from atoms or molecules to allow both species, ions and electrons to coexist. Small amounts of impure plasma can be stopped using glass.
The properties of electricity. Electricity is the flow of electrons through a conductor. It flows from negative to positive. When electricity pushes the electrons from negative to positive, energy such as heat can be created. Where is plasma and electricity around us?
Plasma is what the stars are made of. Even the northern lights are made of plasma. 99.9% of space is made of plasma.
Electricity is present in an electric circuit, and electricity is used to power up almost everything we use every day, such as lights, computers, power lines, etc. We also use electricity in factories and offices. Heat, wind, and hydropower can be converted into electricity. Our ideas and blueprints for our product or action. As we got to know quite some information about plasma and electricity, we put our thoughts together to try to achieve our goal as said in the beginning, finding a new way to harness never-ending sources of energy and to convert that into electricity to give clean energy and to stop the harm of gases and substances on the environment in an eco-friendly and an affordable manner. Here are some of the ideas that we got throughout the research.
Ever since we learned about the Wardenclyffe Tesla Tower, we have been inspired to come up with many ideas, such as have a Tesla coil that moves around with an electrical car which is also powered by the Tesla coil. And as the Tesla coil passes by houses, it gives the house a 2 to 3 days of supply for electricity. The pros of this idea are easy energy for everyone and long-lasting energy. The cons are there's a danger of plasma leaking and increased traffic.
For our second idea, we decided to replicate the Tesla Tower and add some of our own improvisations. Some of the pros of this were that there is easy and accessible energy for everyone, less power cuts and wiring problems, and birds won't die in power lines now. Some of the cons of it are that it will cost a lot and take a while to build, and there'll be more input than the output. In this idea, we will make a Tesla coil and make a cardboard house littered with some neon bulbs to show the demonstration. Here we will turn on the Tesla coil and show how the neon bulbs glow without any connection.
Action plan. Here is our proposal. Two of the most famous ways of making electricity sustainably and renewably is hydro energy and solar energy, but neither of them are that efficient. In this project, we can use both solar energy and hydro energy to power up a Tesla coil in the middle of a huge area such as a city. This Tesla coil will be used as the full-time power supply for this area. But how will we use solar energy and hydro energy to power up the Tesla coil? Well, the average amount of sewer a city produces in a day is 75% of what is usable. We can use turbines to take energy from the flowing wastewater. For example, the speed of regular sewage water is 15 feet per second. And we can take energy from the sun using our solar panels to power up the Tesla coil.
Here are our blueprints for our plan. Here is a blueprint of the model we came up with. The Tesla coil will light up the city wirelessly to power up this, we need solar power and hydropower. Solar power will be trapped from the solar panels, and the hydro energy will be made with turbines, for which we can use sewage water. The energy trapped from this will help the Tesla coil to power up and let the city glow. The demonstration of this will be shown by my friend Sanat.
This is a dummy model of our hydro turbine. In reality, this turbine will be placed in flowing wastewater. But now I'm just going to hand spin this. Here is a series of LEDs, so please tell me if you can see them glowing.
Yes.
Now imagine these LEDs as a battery. This battery will be used to power up the Tesla coil. Next is our solar panel. Our solar panel will also be powering up the Tesla coil. Can anybody see this LED glowing?
Wait. It's slightly dull because of the sunlight.
And here is the final Tesla coil. I will show you a small demonstration of how the Tesla coil works. This is an LED that will be fit directly. As you can see, it is being turned on wirelessly. Now, this is an incandescent light bulb.
As you can see, the light bulb is turning on without any wired connections. This is how the Tesla coil works. What the Tesla coil does is it converts the electricity into plasma, which then flows in the atmosphere and powers up objects wirelessly.
These objects are being powered up by the process of electromagnetic induction.
Can you go to the next slide? Okay. Here are the materials that we used to make our model. For the Tesla coil that my friend Sana demonstrated, we used a 2N2222A transistor, a copper coil, some wires, and a 22.2 kilo ohms resistor.
For the hydro turbine, we will be using a DC motor, a turbine, and a rubber band.
To make the solar panel work, we use some solar panels and negative and positive wires. Action never ends. This is one step that we've taken, one more step that we've taken for our action. To take our plan further, we have approached the research institutes who are working with plasma technology. We are still in the process, as you all see. We have been directed to approach the Institute of Plasma Research and the bar. We will continue to find better ways to make this successful with their suggestions. We would like to conclude with this presentation. As we all know, energy can neither be created or destroyed. Let's start to transfer.
If you want to know more on plasma, watch this presentation.
Sanat has shared the presentation in the chat. So if any of you are interested in plasma, you can all open that link and read about it. Thank you.
I am definite that you feel accomplished announcing your thoughts to the world, Bhavin and Sanat. We may have a few minutes of interaction now, dear audience.
Yes, Sabir?
Can you tell me more about the Tesla Tower?
Yeah, sure. So many years ago, a man called Nikola Tesla invented the Tesla Tower. So I'm not sure if you've all heard of it, but basically what he did was he made a huge Tesla Tower, which was really big, and it lit up the whole city wirelessly. So all he had to do was press one button, and all that electricity was converted into plasma, which then lit up the surroundings without any connections.
So why did it get shut down?
Yeah,
Bhavin, shall I answer this?
Okay, sure. You can go ahead.
Because now more modern circuitry has come, and people now that the old Tesla coil that he made has been deemed inefficient.
What is solar energy? I didn't understand.
Solar energy is energy that have you seen any of those solar panels?
Yes, I see.
Yeah, so it takes the energy from the sun and you can use that as electricity. So it converts the sun into the solar radiations into electricity, and you can
sun is giving to solar energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Heat energy from the sun, basically.
Okay, Sabri, did that answer your question?
Yes, thanks.
Bhavin, I have a question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, can the Tesla coil or plasma? Can plasma be created or formed?
Can I answer that, Bhavin?
Yes, go ahead.
You can't really create matter. Matter is just there, but you can form a state of matter. So it's form, not create.
Okay.
Can I add a bit more to that? Okay, so we do not just create the plasma out of nowhere. So we use gas, and then we convert that gas into plasma by through the form of ionization. So many of you might be knowing that atoms are made up of electrons, protons, and neutrons. So when the electrons are removed from the atom, that creates plasma. Okay, who's next? Okay, go ahead.
More questions? Team Electrosma is all to entertain questions.
You're on mute.
Who discovered plasma?
Bhavin, can I answer that?
William.
Sir William Crookes discovered plasma using the Crookes tube.
Push.
Yeah. So my question is that
What does physics do and chemistry do?
So you know the states of matter, right?
Yes.
So the states of matter is more related to chemistry, and like for example, you know when the plane flies, so when they fly, they have to do all the calculation of how much energy they have to go from, how much energy they need, and in which direction should it go. So that is physics.
So chemistry, what is chemistry?
Sanat?
Chemistry is like chemicals. You're studying things like chemicals and their effects like compounds.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Arya?
Yeah. Yes, Bhavan.
Any more
Ask
questions?
Pranati.
Okay. Could we move along? All the questions you could put in chat. We will definitely entertain it, them either through the Padlet or in the chat towards the end of the session. Okay. We definitely see genuine reasons behind the choice of the topic of the upcoming team environmentalists. Nilambari, who is a courageous and inquisitive communicator. Courage to communicate is born from sound knowledge. It gives her confidence to be adamant in acquiring learning, the learning that only convinces her. The quality makes her a team player and an interactive member of the group. Originality in her thinking and her critical thinking capability pictures Aparajita as an inquisitive, courageous, and open-minded learner. Her areas of interest, including extracurricular fields like many others in my group, also show that she's a person who would like to connect her learning to her real life. Maulya is a courageous inquirer and thinker. The unique thoughts, like her proposal, recycling is good, but couldn't we avoid plastic? Which sounds original, tells us about her critical thinking capability. Way to go, learners. Dear mentors, Ms. Swarna, Ms. Nisha, and Ms. Kanchan, please share your experience in working with them. Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Asha. So Team D, the environmentalists, have taken upon a journey to understand better the different forms of pollution and the effects of pollution. And the best part is they have tried to figure out how small steps can lead to an action. So that is what environmentalists are all about.
Rightly said, Swarna ma'am. And as they have come to a conclusion that protection, restoration, and promotion of sustainability is actually the need of the hour, and they have really worked very hard towards achieving this goal.
Okay, let's hear from Nilambari and Aprajita's extensive inquiry on pollutants and Maulya's research on climate action. Over to Group D.
Good morning, students, teachers, and parents. Today, the environmentalists will be talking to you about our research that we have been doing for the past 5 months, and we will present our actions. Ma'am, could we go to the next slide?
We have 3 proposals which are care for Earth should start at a young age, Recycling is good, but using plastic is what could be avoided. And to stop pollution, we need to start at home.
The SDG goals we have chosen are climate action, life below water, and life on land. Throughout our presentation, you will understand why we chose these SDG goals. Now please enjoy this role play that we made showing all our information on pollution.
Hey!
Hey, what's wrong?
Nothing, just the air.
Yeah, my sister has been coughing a lot.
It is not the air, it is the pollutants in the air.
What do you mean by pollutants?
I learned this. Pollutants are the chemicals that pollute the environment.
Can you make that understandable?
When you put some toxic materials in a glass of water, the water turns toxic. So, when pollutants enter the environment becomes polluted.
Okay, but what are these pollutants? Where do they come from?
There are so many pollutants. Ozone, nitrogen oxides, carbon monoxide, and sulfur dioxide are some major outdoor air pollutants.
Air pollutants? Are there different pollutants for different types of pollution?
Yeah, but what are the different types of pollutions?
There is air, water, land, noise, light, thermal, and plastic pollution.
That's a lot of pollution.
You're right, that's a lot.
I'm curious now. What are the pollutants for water pollution?
Domestic waste, insecticides, herbicides, food waste, livestock operations, chemical waste, and a lot more.
Poor fishes.
What about land pollution?
Trash, chemicals, toxins are the main pollutants.
What about light and noise?
Light pollution doesn't have many pollutants, just excess light. Noise pollution also doesn't have pollutants, just really loud noises.
I've heard about air, water, land pollution, light, and sound too. But what is thermal pollution?
Thermal pollution is what happens when the natural temperature of any place increases a lot.
How can the temperature just increase?
Deforestation, toxin increase, and natural causes like hot springs. Do you want to know what plastic pollution is?
I think it's plastic waste in the oceans.
Or land.
Both are right.
But how do these pollutants enter the environment?
There are many ways pollutants can enter the environment for air pollution. There are many causes like the fumes from vehicles, smoke from factories, construction, agriculture, volcano eruptions, dust storms, forest fires, smoking, bleach.
Wait. Bleach? How does bleach cause pollution?
Bleach releases toxins into the air, which create pollution.
That was a new information for me.
What about water pollution?
Okay, water pollution. Let me see. Industrial waste, sewage, wastewater, dumping waste into water bodies, oil leaks, and mining.
Mining? How can mining cause pollution?
The chemicals released from mining activities cause contamination of soil, groundwater, surface water.
Land pollution?
Deforestation, industrialization, agriculture activities, construction, and littering.
Okay, is there anything else we need to know about pollution?
Just the effects left.
Oh, what are the effects?
Oh, you don't know? I learned that in class.
Well, then tell me.
Okay, for the main effects are global warming, human respiratory issues, heart issues, wildlife, and acid rain.
These effects relate to all types of pollution, right?
Yeah, you're right.
We brought awareness by making a survey and asking students to respond. We even got people from outside of India to respond to this survey. This is how we made our local to global connection.
We've also done interviews. Today you will be seeing the most interesting input we got during our research. We interviewed our dear Principal Suryavati ma'am but the interview became a conversation. This is the best input we have, and now you can learn something from it.
I feel that the main cause of pollution is not these cars or the technology or the activities. Nothing. The main cause which brings this pollution to a city or a state or a country is the thought process of the people. How people think, the ignorance, the irresponsibility. I think these are the things which bring in pollution in a place. If we understand our responsibility to keep the environment healthy for us and for the future generations, we will automatically, I think, make that effort towards it and eradicate before concentrating on other kinds or types of pollution, whether it is air, water, road, all these things. I think this is the main pollution, and it encourages all other things in the sense, our understanding about hygiene, our understanding about the safety. All these things are very vital in terms of how we think and how we contribute. I feel that is one of the major issues of pollution. Do you agree when I say this?
As I with music, we made a song about pollution.
I'm in the bus, all I feel is disgust. I looked out the window, was for a last flash.
People burned leaves which created ash. Then I understood what the world is at last.
Air pollution, smoke in the air, water pollution, waste in the sea, land pollution, garbage all around, that's all we see.
I look at the sea and all I feel is the garbage that's dumped and the animals aren't free.
We have pollution and a solution. What's your resolution? Ask of pollution.
Air pollution, smoke in the air, water pollution, waste in the sea, land pollution, garbage all around, that's all we see.
I'm in the bus, all I feel is this. And as our art integration, we describe pollution in pointillism and expressionism.
For our language integration, we made a poster in Hindi.
जल वायु धरती को साफ रखे, प्रदूषण कम करे. As my action, I have done a cleanup around my community. I also put this on social media. I asked my family and friends to also do a small cleanup in their homes, and they have done so. Can we go to the next slide? Another action I have taken was going to second grade and third grade and asking them to fill out a form. It was a small form asking them to take an action as well and also asking them to make a promise regarding pollution. Some of them recorded themselves saying the promise they took. Here is one of those videos.
The all promises I have done is I won't litter anywhere, and I clean my house. I'll try to stop using cars, and I will, if my friends, family, anyone is littering, I will stop them. Thank you. To stop them. Thank you.
I visited class 4 and spread awareness to the students over there about water and marine pollution. It was a new learning for them. I had given them a Padlet link and they took a pledge. Here is a video.
I pledge. I will be thoughtful to use cloth bags. I will remind my parents to walk instead of using the car for short distances. And I will stay alert about my surroundings, and I will help save the world.
Thank you.
This is just the beginning of our actions, but it is the end of our presentation.
We appreciate your time and patience for watching our presentation. We hope you learned something new and will help save the world. Over to Magya.
Climate change. How is climate change and pollution related? Air pollutants have a relation with climate change, such as black carbon and ozone, increasing the temperature in the atmosphere and causes global warming. Heat waves cause an increase in ground level ozone pollution because the chemical reaction that create ozone in the atmosphere that occurs more often at hot temperatures. Here's a role play I made on climate change and global warming.
Sis, I have a real terrible stomachache.
What did you eat yesterday?
You only saw, right? I ate vegetable salad. And yeah, you only ate a whole huge pizza. And you didn't share.
I'm sorry.
Okay, leave that. I have a terrible stomachache.
Oh, then you should be taking rest,
I
right?
have exams tomorrow.
Oh, sad.
Could you please help me?
What? I have classes now, little girl.
Please.
Okay, but please stop showing those cute eye faces, okay? Okay, but what subject is it tomorrow?
Oh, sis.
Okay, cool. What are your topics?
Climate change.
Nice. Even I have worked on climate change.
Ooh.
Okay, so do you know anything on what is climate change?
Maybe.
What's it?
The climate changing?
Very close.
Oh. Is it global warming?
Not exactly, but it comes under climate change. Okay, so in simple words, climate change refers to long-term shift in weather conditions, okay?
Ooh, interesting.
So did you get an idea on climate change?
Yes, but I wanted to know more on global warming.
Okay, I'll explain it to you. Okay, so we throw garbage every day,
I
right?
did not throw, you throw it.
Okay, remember when we went on a road trip to Nandi Hills?
Yes.
Okay, so I observed in our road trip, I saw many garbage hills, and the people who lived there, they were all almost farmers. When the garbage truck dumps the garbage, almost 50% of the truck's garbage would be plastic. And imagine how many trucks would have been dumped garbage in a day.
But how does this relate to global
When
warming?
we throw plastic on land, the soil absorbs the plastic, and then when the farmers grow the plants or the vegetables, the fruits, whatever you're gonna eat, they would be very, very unhealthy. Oh yeah, and maybe that's why you're having a stomachache. Maybe, maybe not.
No, that's why I'm getting a stomach ache because I had vegetable salad yesterday. And maybe because it's really unhealthy because of the garbage we throw.
This needs to have a change. So let's avoid plastic and let's start using paper and biodegradable plastic. Causes and effects of climate change. Human activities such as burning fossil fuels and destroying rainforests have an increasing influence on climate and the Earth's temperature. This adds huge quantities of greenhouse gases to those naturally present in the atmosphere, increasing the greenhouse effect and global warming. Causes and effects of global warming. Power plants, transportation, farming, deforestation, fertilizers, oil drilling, and natural gas drilling. History of climate change. In 1880, the world population reached 1 billion. In 1930, human population reaches 2 billion. In 1938, using records from 147 weather storms around the world, British engineer calendar shows that temperatures had risen over the previous century. He also shows that CO2 concentration has increased over the same period and suggestion this caused global warming. Here's a short poetry on climate change.
Facing the fight against climate change, lots of problems that we'll face. Knowing the issue, what we'll do. We will find out the solution, what to do. We should look what we're doing, or else we should face what Mother Earth We want to change the world, or we will live like this until we get old. The world is gonna end if we don't change, so we better work on our climate change.
So I had made a survey on climate change, and here I got some responses. My action. So I made a mini solar oven, and here is how I made it. So my model looks like this, and how I made it is I took a box and I cut it out 3 sides over here, not completely but 3 sides over here, and I added aluminium foil that the sunlight directly hits it and gives heat. And here I have added some clear wrap so this is the base of my food where I can place it, and here I have added black construction paper because black takes the sunlight and it heats up the food. So here in the video, as ma'am, can you go to the previous slide? Okay, so here in the video, as I showed you how I made my solar oven, I used black construction paper as black absorbs heat, and in this summer my solar oven would be perfect to cook because the sun rays would be more increased in summer, and I can cook my food in half amount of time it uses to cook. I made a solar oven because it saves electricity and it doesn't use gas or electricity. The oven just uses the natural sunlight. Solar panels do not produce greenhouse gases while generating electricity as produced by using fuels like coal and natural gas. Most of our energy comes from burning fossil fuels, a process that emits carbon dioxide. Solar produces less life cycle greenhouse gases emissions than conventional fossil fuel energy sources. While there may be some greenhouse gases emissions produced during the manufacturing and recycling of the solar system, the generation of energy results in zero greenhouse gases emissions and zero environment impact. Thank you for watching our presentation by the environmentalists.
Well done, team environmentalists. And thank you, mentors and the presenters, even Team E, Electrosma. Interaction time. Any queries which will lead us to brainstorming? You may ask now or put in chat.
Do people already use solar ovens? No, not yet. But they're slowly using it. Like in the US, they slowly started using them, and that's how I got my idea.
So how does pollution help us? How does it help the environment, and how does it help the humans?
It doesn't.
If it doesn't, then what is the cure? How can you stop pollution? What is your idea of actions, if you have any more?
We think that instead of finding a cure for pollution, we should just start preventing it so there won't be any more pollution.
Okay.
So, why do people like to use pollution? Why do they want this plastic? Why can't they just use other types of bag?
Because plastic doesn't get spoiled faster and it will stay for a longer time, and people use plastic for that.
Oh, even straw, I have a metal straw.
Anybody have any more questions?
Okay, well done. Good going. Good questions too. And the responses. The name of this team originated from their themes. The team members, Tanaf, a courageous and reflective communicator. The reflective thought process exhibited by him has presented him as a constructive member, another constructive member of the group. The involvement in the topic he has chosen was evident from the quality and the pace and the promptness in his work. Nikhil is a courageous and reflective inquirer. He expresses his thoughts in a confident manner, which makes him ready with answers for his peers' questions. Ownership of learning through a reflective approach towards the learning process makes him inquisitive. Samarth exhibits open-mindedness and is a balanced learner, which displays him as a confident member of a group, who is capable of strategic decision-making. His balanced nature makes him a problem solver in his group. Dear mentors, Ms. Rathika, Ms. Nisha, and Ms. Munisa, please share your valuable thoughts about the journey with the group.
Thank you, Asha ma'am. Thank you, Asha ma'am. To quote Helen Keller, the welfare of each is bound up in the welfare of all. As no man is an island, it can be rightly said that welfare is the invisible thread which binds all of us together.
When young teens start taking action to protect the future of our planet, we know that the planet is in safe hands, for they are the future guardians. Our three welfare warriors have indeed shown with their thoughts and actions that they're committed towards building a better world.
As it is rightly said, face towards the sunshine and the shadows will follow you. This has been rightly proved by our welfareers, because they are the living messages which will be passed on to the other generations, leaving us adults behind. Congratulations to the welfareers, you people rock.
Some call the middle of nowhere. I call the center of my world, the anti-free.
Man becomes great in the degree in which he works for the welfare of his fellow men. By Mahatma Gandhi, father of our nation, India.
We can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. Ronald Reagan, the 40th President of the United States of America.
Hello, my name is Sana Agarwal. I am a courageous and open-minded learner. Those my hobbies are sports and coding. I want to do something for Mother Earth, which change will follow.
Hello, my name is Samar Sharma. My personality is being a risk taker and asking questions about different topics. My hobbies are reading and drawing. Once the pencil touches the paper, I can make good quality work. I also love sports and would love to continue this when I am older.
Hello, my name is Nikhil Raja. I'm an inquirer and I like to be caring towards everyone. I'm interested in taking leadership positions where I can inspire people. I like composing songs, playing sports, arts and crafts, and my YouTube.
After brainstorming, we collaborated deciding the central idea as passion and interest, which learning and action. We draw visibility or we express ourselves. Research is a starting point for all life. We started researching and led to suitable action.
When we research, we get to know new things. Like I found human welfare. These things soon become interest if you are into that topic. My interest right now is working on human welfare. Sooner or later, we find ourselves totally into that topic, and then you know that it's time to make a change to the world.
The first glance of the topic to everyone is the basics of the topic. People who are interested in their own topic will research about it and come up with an action. A native of Gujarat, Bhagwanji, who has built a bird bungalow, is an example. Our line of inquiry 1 had a clear idea on what we had to work on. It was my area of interest with the key concept form.
It's clear that my interest is having a world in which everyone lives in happiness. No underprivileged people, no poverty anymore. Human welfare.
Animal welfare. Keeping the animals healthy and alive so they can also live a happy life.
My interest is to manage the waste in order to have green place to live. Waste management. How does the world see this topic? Do they think it's important? Line of inquiry 2. Awareness of the world around us. The key concept energy.
Let us think about our role in helping the underprivileged.
What is our role in helping the government and the NGOs in animal welfare?
What is our role in helping the NGOs and government in waste management?
What are the implementable solutions? How can they be helped? Line of inquiry 3. Strategies for a sustainable living with the key concepts, perspective and change.
World without waste. Would it be better?
A world with animal inclusivity. A better world indeed.
Won't the world be better when everyone is educated and healthy? Can you visualize it? The Sustainable Development Goals are the goals that were made by the United Nations. These goals were made so that they would be focused on, and the members of the states have decided to achieve these goals by the end of 2030. These are the goals that we are focusing on.
Human interaction with the environment is always resulted in waste production. It takes the highest priority to have efficient waste management system. And that said, treating on the dump site and plastic is a really important factor. Garbage can be segregated into different categories to determine if they can be used as fertilizer, whether they can be decomposed, whether they can be the part of the trickle out. Recycle, reuse, renew.
Do you feel lazy going to school? Well, if yes, do you realize how many children are there around us who cannot even think of availing such privileges? This may also include their food, a place to live, and clothes to wear to keep themselves comfortable from heat or cold. If you are privileged to have all these, you are different from them. How should we act? Should we act? This is the diamond ranking that helped us classify our most important topics. These important problems are huge.
Animals also need to be helped. They are just ignored in front of humans. They are our friends that understand our feelings, and they are the human helpers which keep the ecosystem in balance. Instead, we are just spoiling it by killing the animals in long-term pollution, and we end up thinking that they are not important. All three of us together are focusing on farmers' welfare, and so we call ourselves by the name Welfarios.
I had bought the plant for the nursery bin on January 7. Didn't show much growth. It only grew about 18 centimeters in a month. Then I thought about making a fertilizer. Left it on the fresh ridge and soaked it in water. After 5 hours, I collected the water, put a bit of baking soda and topped it. I put it in the soil. Over that, put dry extracts. Most of the benefits come from banana peel, potassium and vitamin B6. Vitamins from onion peel, quercetin. Strawberry peel, magnesium. Other ingredients added are expired curd and green tea. On March 2nd, we had the plant for 43 centimeters. See, the compost works. The most important goal in this action is to make a sustainable and easy compost that everyone can make on their own. We're giving it to the farm so that it can help in the crop production and help the people. Then the farm gives a piece of their land to take care of. The authors simply spend over 1,000 rupees per year per fertilizer. Not anymore. And that will be made, the ingredients, the smell, almost everything.
I came up with the idea and wanted to assist Tanav in giving the compost. I thought that this compost might help in their crop production, and now they save 20,000 rupees and they can make this whenever they like. This helps the fruit quality and the buyer's reaction. See, everyone is helped.
Revisiting the farm. I then revisited the farm to check on the plants and what I needed. And surely, they grew a lot in number. And because of that, they put in all the fresh stuff. You guys might be thinking, after we separate the water from the wet waste is abandoned in the landfill. But first of all the milk is soaked by the water, and even if there's a milk left, the baking soda or sodium bicarbonate acts as a fungicide. The sodium bicarbonate reacts with the fungus and kills it. Mailing the Ministry of Farmers Welfare. I mailed the Ministry of Farmers Welfare, and a few days later, we got a response saying they would go to many other farms and help them out. I wish to continue this even after they finish.
One day, I was doing some research for my topic. While browsing through the internet searching for animal rescue near me, I came across a website named Blue Cross of India. It is an NGO or a non-governmental organization for animals providing rescue and food for animals that are taken to them, and I decided to donate a small contribution enough to feed a dog for a month. This is the happiest I have felt, and I plan to do it as often as I can with some help from my parents. This is my vermicompost. It is my first half of my action regarding bug life. Vermicomposting is the process by which worms are used to convert organic materials, or usually wastes, into humus-like materials known as vermin compost. The worms also act as decomposers. The earthworms are not endangered because there is no use of artificial substances in this process. In this process, the fruit or vegetable becomes a part of the soil and the soil becomes fertile. For more information, here is the link to for more information about earthworms. The pictures above are about my bug hotel. This is another part of my action regarding bug life. A bug hotel is a structure created to provide shelter for insects. They can come in variety of shapes and sizes depending on the specific purpose or specific insect it is catered to. They also make your garden look beautiful. Here is the link for more information about bug hotels. I went to a nearby dam which is super polluted. I went there to clean it up. Here is my evidence for my action.
The goal of my action was to encourage the habit of reading fun books among the people who don't have the opportunity to. They only get to read study books, which is compulsory if you go to school. To help with this situation, I collected old storybooks around my apartment and planned to give them to children of our support staff. These children are the people who don't read storybooks. I sent a letter to the manager and got approval for it. Then, we sent a message to apartment telegram and other sites where people can become aware. I placed a big box near the clubhouse with information regarding the collection. I have collected 102 books from my society and have segregated them into different categories. After this, I have given about 15 books to 2 eligible children of families I know. I have also made a table with all the information regarding the 2 children who got the books. With the help of my teachers, I sent a letter to the NGO site that works closely with government schools asking permission to donate books to the students. They replied, saying that they have established many libraries with around 100 books in each one And they also run a fun reading club where children of all ages can come and read fun storybooks. They also said they would be happy if I could come to one of the libraries and give them the books that I have collected. We call them, talking about the place, time, and date we are free and when we can come. I will soon visit the school to donate books to the students.
Landfills and marine health. Landfill is an open area built at the ground level to dispose of the garbage. It is built in such a way it should not affect the surrounding environment. Once a landfill is full, we cover with a layer of soil. Non-organic landfills are dangerous because of the lack of oxygen and a deadly gas called methane, which carries on to the nearby soil and fresh water. Our wastage sometimes down into the water. It's really harmful because it depletes oxygen and creates carbon dioxide and methane. Animals sometimes eat non-recyclable waste like plastic and think they are safe, but they end up starving. Small fish end up getting stuck in there. Nikki, isn't this unbelievable?
Yes, Tana. Pollution can lead to severe health complications for animals. Animals are especially vulnerable because they have respiratory systems that are much more sensitive than humans. The effects of air pollution on animals, effects of air Animals are especially vulnerable because they have respiratory systems that are much more sensitive than humans. The effects of air pollution on animals include lung damage, heart problems, inflammation, and cancer. Matter in the air has been linked to cardiac arrests in dogs. Birds are affected directly by coal power production exhaust, which can damage birds' respiratory systems. They also are affected by air pollution indirectly. Sea animals die because of water pollution. For example, when a turtle or a fish eats plastic, it makes them feel full while they're actually hungry. So they starve to death. The government is helping Sorry, Asha ma'am, I had a small internet issue. Yes, I'll just continue from there. Has the government done anything with the situation of poverty, Samarth?
Sorry, I was on mute. The government is helping Nikhil. Currently in India, there are organizations that help to stop poverty. Some things the government has done to help the needy are free ration, where the government gives staple food to rural areas and villages for a very low rate. Example, 2 rupees per kg or even lower. Interest-free loans or low-interest loans, where government sites give loans to the poor so that they can use that, earn and make a living. Vocational skill development program, where people teach adults new skills so that they can put those skills to use and earn more money at their job. Midday meals and rural areas when rural area schools give children midday meals so that their parents can send them to school. Free education for all, and the Constitution also has laws to bring equality among all people irrespective of their religion, caste, and gender. We should start helping the underprivileged ourselves so that India is a happy nation where all citizens can have a better and improved life.
Just like human beings, even animals need a clean environment too. Whether they are dogs, cats, guinea pigs, monkeys, llamas, animals and humans exist complementary to each other on the face of the earth. Animals often make a valuable contribution to human health and recovery, taking an important role, for example, in therapy and rehabilitation programs. They perform a very important role in maintaining the balance of life. Animals provide us with food. As human population expands, people steal the land of animals. Besides birds and terrestrial animals, marine mammals and fish have also recognized humans as a potential source of help.
Animals are so helpful, but some humans are helpless to themselves. It is called absolute poverty because some people lack the access to basic human needs like food, clean water, houses, money, clothes, etc. Not only on those, but also on the local services like hospitals and schools. When a person falls ill, people living in villages have to make home remedies to aid themselves. I know that people are working against this condition, and let us also help them in sustainable ways.
Guest speakers who inspired us. Topic animal welfare.
Ma'am, next slide. Guest speakers who have inspired us on the topics waste management and human welfare. हिंदी एकीकरण के लिए हमने यह पोस्टर बनाए हैं। यह हमारे विज्ञापन है जो हमारे विषयों पर जागरूकता फैलाने में सबकी मदद करेंगे। भारत के अधिकांश गरीब साफ पानी, पौष्टिक आहार, शिक्षा और अस्पताल की सुविधाओं से वंचित हैं। सरकार की मदद पर्याप्त नहीं है। आर्थिक सहायता, श्रमदान और पुरानी वस्तुओं देकर हम उनकी मदद कर सकते हैं। आपका परोपकार करे वंचितों का उद्धार।
हमें उनके लिए बोलना चाहिए जो अपने लिए नहीं बोल सकते। उनकी मदद करो, जानवरों को बचाओ, उन्हें बचाने के लिए दान करें या कुछ भी करें।
अपना कचरा खुद संभालें, एक उर्वरक बनाएं, एक स्वच्छ पृथ्वी होगी।
No one becomes poor by giving.
Help animals. Ma'am, can you come to the previous slide? Help animals. They just need food, water, and shelter.
Good waste management system is to a healthy society.
Thank you for listening to our presentation. Now it's question time. Any questions?
Okay, I have a question. Why do hunters want to kill animals so badly?
Can you repeat, Kush?
So why does hunter want to kill animal or take animal away?
Nikhil, you're on mute.
Hunters kill animals just not like that. They're asked to do it since the population of animals in a certain country is big, and then they even hunt animals for humans because humans also depend on animals.
And some hunters also help animals for their skin. Example, many tigers have died because the hunters have killed them for their skin.
So who's telling that to do that?
The government. You can even get a license to hunt.
Wait, government? But why?
See, Kush, in an area, if there are too many animals, that means the place will be full with animals, and then there will not be enough space for humans to live. So they hunt a few animals. They don't hunt all of them.
Okay, only little.
Yeah, they don't hunt all of them.
So they'll kill animals. So it will become more and more that they have their own life. We have, like for example, we have our own life. Will animal kill us just like that?
What? Of course, I could not hear you.
So like if animals have their own lives, we also have their own life. So does animal hurt us?
Yeah, few animals hurt us. Animals hurt us only when we annoy them,
threaten them.
Okay. My answer back.
Any more questions?
Any more questions? Encouraging conversation. Push.
What made you choose animal welfare?
Animal is like something really good. Like if we don't hurt them, then we won't hurt them or annoy them. But if there's so many animals around us, then hunter will kill those animals.
You're right, Kush.
Bhavin, did you raise your hands for a question?
Yeah. For the how do you do the research with the compost? What all material did you use?
Like first you research about synthetic fertilizers, what are used there, and then you search for replacements in organic materials. And then I found out how to make a compost, a liquid compost, and then it was ready.
Any more questions?
What made you choose your topics?
Yeah. So I chose animal welfare because in the area that I live in currently, there are a lot of animals which are treated illy. So that's why I just thought that I could go on to animal welfare, because I see everywhere that dogs just keep going to other people's house, but then the people just keep throwing sticks and stones at them. That's why I just chose animal welfare.
Okay. That was such a healthy conversation, making it interactive. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, everybody. Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. John F. Kennedy. Here we have our leader with us, our PYP coordinator, Jaya ma'am. Ma'am, could you share a few words with us, please?
Thank you, Asha ma'am. Is Suryavati ma'am present there? We will take her feedback first. Is that okay? Could you please confirm if she is there?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
She is there?
Yeah, yes, ma'am is here.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Jai ma'am.
Thank you very much. It was so interesting in the kind of varied topics which you all have zeroed down to along with your mentors, I should say. From Tesla Towers, which was very, very interesting, and I definitely have to go through that presentation and read the links which you all have given. We, as teachers, we are most of the time stuck with, probably those topics which are not that much into physics and scientific things which are happening around. I was so glad that, when Bhavin was talking about Bhavin and Samarth, right? That was Samarth. Sanath, yes, Sanath, when they were talking about, how their parents have ignited this with him and kept this an ongoing process, hand-holding them along with the teachers. Thank you very much, parents, if you're here, for igniting that with this for these students. And we can see the seriousness with which they have presented this, and long way to go, and congratulations. Then we had Nilambari, Aparajita and Maulya, who were, in fact, I had a long conversation. They said 10 minutes of your time. It went on to 30 minutes. I still remember that, the kind of questions they asked, and which made me introspect and reflect about pollution, about each one of our responsibility in the way we think, how the thoughts should not be polluted for a healthy human being is what I was highlighting. And they could integrate that and take it forward. Thank you very much. And how global perspective is what each one of you were looking at today was amazing when I had sat through. This time, earlier I had to step out and come in because some practicals were going on here. But for grade 6, I think I sat throughout, and I was listening to each one of you here. And the diamond ranking method
which is very unique in itself and which all of you have gone through. And when I was listening towards the end, as a listener, what you heard last 8 minutes, 10 minutes stays a little longer. And I was taking my notes here. But yeah, with the last conversations which were happening, the sharing which was happening here, it looks like the youth philanthropy initiative is already started in Harvest. That's the feeling I got when I started looking at them, going to the riverside and picking up a few things, and how, again, my reflections, how communities have to be, the interconnectedness, which is very, very vital. A man cannot live in isolation. Interconnectedness is very, very important. And the more you give, the satisfaction which you get out of giving. And each one of us is connected. We cannot live in isolation. And if that dawns at a very younger age group of all of you, you are going to achieve big things in life for sure. So giving is not just a reminder for our human connection, but a human connection with others. It makes the other person feel that he is not alone, and it also makes us feel have this gratitude towards. Okay, I'm not using all the scientific terms, and I'm not connecting to your themes, which Jaya ma'am, I have left it for her. She will connect it a little later. But as a human being, as a leader who always focuses on
has she gone on mute? Or?
I think the school has lost the internet connection. I can see Jaya ma'am.
Formally, completed your exhibition, and you have done it with a big bang. Thank you, and over to you, Asha.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's precious. You mean it. Jaya ma'am, could we listen to you, please, for a few minutes?
Yeah, thank you, Asha ma'am. And wonderful, actually, while listening to Surya ma'am, she has covered a bit of it, so I would call it as an extension, adding on to the points which ma'am has covered. I was also noting down the points from each group. So let me tell you all that this year, 2022, is considered as International Year of Basic Sciences in Achieving SDG Goals, as mentioned by United Nations. So what I could see is that any existing problem can be solved using certain basic sciences. So I think the entire presentation of grade 6 had that pinch of it, which is incredible. So moving on to specifically group by group. The first group, Team Electrosma, you spoke about plasma technology, and you said that plasma to solve energy crisis. I'm sure you know the global goals and the issues that are prevailing in with regards to energy conservation. So I think you have banged on, you have brought in plasma technology into your presentation. And I really liked Bhavin said it already, the thought process was there 3 years back when you attended Innovation Day. Therein you got the inclination towards robotics, and how you have taken up that as your area of interest, and how you collaborated with Sanath, who was very much interested in plasma technology. So you both came together and you created an understanding of the thing. Energy can neither created nor destroyed, it can only be transferred. So through your demonstration you have done that, plus you have made prototypes for to go through how each level works. The scientific thinking process is one thing that I could see from the beginning of in your project. So kudos to you, Bhavin and Sanat. And you have said that understanding the plasma and how the electricity, the scarcity in electricity can be, made it as a solution through plasma. That's amazing. Kudos to you. You had your fact checked on everything. The research was well done. Okay. Moving on to team environmentalist, Inambari, Aprajita and Maulya. You know what, when I was listening to you, you had a lot of expressions because you connected very well with, other subjects like visual arts, performing arts, and the role plays. You had your conversation going on, and through the conversation, you were telling the audience that where is the problem? What are you breathing? You're breathing air, but what is there in the air? So that was really amazing. You also connected with SDG, and you pointed out very clearly that you should start working from the ground level, that start working from home, because you should think about not polluting the environment, isn't it? So that has to come from home, wherever you are right now. Yeah, so that is one thing. Then you went ahead with your reaching out to audience. See, in your group, what you targeted was, you targeted the age group that was younger to you, because you felt, okay, when we go and teach them, they might take action, and that indeed becomes your action. So you have successfully done that. Kudos to your team for that. Now coming to team welfareos, Sanat, Nikhil and Tanav, right from the beginning.
Samarth.
Yeah, Samarth, sorry about that. Samarth, Nikhil and Tanav. Samarth with human welfare, Nikhil with animal welfare, Tanav with waste management. From the beginning itself, you were very clear why you want to be together. In the presentation, right from the beginning, when you were working, you brought that inclusivity that I could really understand the way you presented today also, because Tanav mentioned creating compost and giving it to the farmers, and Samarth, you rightly mentioned about they could save rupees 20,000 because you were targeting on poverty. And when we had interactions in your classroom, you were very clear about different types of poverty. Poverty is not that just we see with regards to money. You even mentioned sometime in the conversation that it can be poverty when you don't have good sleep. So this is the amount of the research you have done. So I could see the connectivity you have made. Now, Nikhil, when you said that animals also has got the right to live, and you rightly mentioned animals are human helpers. So imagine the inclusivity you have brought in through your presentation. I am surprised to see at this young age you are thinking, as ma'am mentioned, you can take it ahead and you can, take us into your circle and you can make it happen. We are all there in your support, all the team members, including segment 1, the presenters in the morning, and you banged on with all you were able to justify your thoughts. That's very important. And you had a lot of NGOs connected, So one thing which I want to say, see, our goodness come when we reach out to the community, give back to the society. So that's what is happening right from at this young age. So it's really amazing to see we are able to give a bit through the classroom. As the motto of Harvest International School, we say that education beyond classrooms. I think this was the display, excellent display of that motto, that you are living up to that expectation. So having said that, I would like to say today's presentation, it had its own the charm when it comes to, the targeting on the global issues, and how confident you were with your presentations. Kudos to you, learners. Now moving on to the teachers and mentors who have molded them to this level. Every time we had a lot of meetings, you should understand, my dear learners, to make this happen, they had their own collaborative meetings, and they had their own, the homework done before they came to you. Despite of they were there with their own classes as well. Most of them were HRTs and the subject teachers who were into throughout PYP. So they came to you and they given the time. So my sincere gratitude note to all the teachers who were involved in this beautiful journey. That's why we can call it as, it's not about the destination, it's about the process, about the journey. So you have lived up to the expectation of Harvest International School. So kudos to you, teachers. Now about parents. This PYP exhibition became outstanding in spite of the limitations due to the online setup. Children were able to collaborate using all the tools available, and they worked within their premises, collaborating the virtual setup, and this was only possible with the help and support that offered by our parent community. So a big round of applause to you and gratitude note to you. Now, what about the management team? Our chairman, sir, Ram Prasad sir, and our managing director, Miss Aishita, they have their vision to take it up to the next level. So their vision becomes our mission and we take it further. So they are the driving force of whatever we do in our school. So let me take this opportunity to extend my gratitude note. Now coming back to the mentors, I should say super mentors, our senior principal ma'am, Dakshani ma'am, and principal ma'am, Miss Suryavati ma'am, for ever supporting, and any time we approach, there is something to take away. We get that, why can't we do this way? So that's very much required. So we look up to them as our mentors. So thank you so much to Dakshani ma'am and Suryavati ma'am. And thanks to all the guests who came in between and left, and because of their tight schedule. So we look forward. So this is just the beginning. When we say synergy, synergize, transit to transcend, our learners have lived up to our expectation of Harvest International School. So let's all reach beyond boundaries, beyond classrooms. Over to you, Asha ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the thoughtful words and the time taken for us. Congratulations, learners. We are all sure that you feel accomplished after all your efforts. Well done. Keep up your spirits and keep going.